Could your cozy bedroom be quietly damaging your heart and memory every single night? You might feel like you're doing everything right, eating healthy, taking your meds, going to bed on time. But if you still wake up tired, foggy, or with aching joints, something else may be working against you. In this video, I'll show you 5 hidden items in your bedroom that could be harming your sleep, weakening your memory, and silently raising your health risks, and how a few simple changes tonight can protect your body and help you feel like yourself again. Don't ignore this. The solution is easier than you think, and it could start working by tomorrow morning. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching from and what time is it right now? Or simply comment the word HOPE if you're ready to sleep better and live stronger. If you find this helpful, hit subscribe so you never miss out on simple tips that support your health. Now let's uncover what might be hiding just inches from your head. You might not give it much thought, but let me ask you something simple. Where do you keep your alarm clock? If it's sitting just a few inches from your pillow right on the nightstand, you're not alone. Most folks I talk to have one right there. Easy to check the time, reliable, familiar. But here's the thing, that quiet little clock might be doing more harm than you realize. I want to tell you about Evelyn. She's 73, retired school teacher from Oregon. Sharp mind, peaceful life, always took good care of herself. She ate clean, took her medication, even meditated before bed. And yet every morning she woke up feeling like she hadn't slept at all. Heavy eyes, dull headaches, and a fog that just wouldn't lift. Her doctors ran tests. Everything looked normal. But Evelyn knew something wasn't right. One day she read an article about how digital clocks can give off low levels of electromagnetic radiation, EMFs. Not strong enough to feel, but strong enough perhaps to quietly disturb the body, especially if they sit less than a foot from your brain all night long. That's when she looked over at her old plug-in clock. It had been glowing on her nightstand for nearly 5 years, 12 inches from her head every single night. So she tried an experiment. She unplugged the clock, bought a simple battery-powered one, moved it across the room, just to see. 4 days later, she called her daughter with tears in her voice. "I slept through the night for the first time in months," she said. No headache, no fog. It felt like someone had opened a window in her brain, and she's not alone. According to the Sleep Foundation and Harvard Health Publishing, EMF exposure, especially during deep sleep, can interfere with melatonin. That's the hormone your body uses not just to sleep, but to heal while you sleep. When melatonin levels drop, your immune system weakens. Your brain struggles to repair, and you may wake up feeling like your tank never got refilled. Now, I'm not saying a clock is the enemy, but if it's plugged in glowing next to your bed, it may be sending out a silent stream of energy your older body doesn't tolerate well anymore. So what can you do? It's simple. Use a battery-powered clock instead, or if you like digital, just move it at least 6 feet away from your head. That's it. No need to throw anything out or buy expensive gadgets. Just give your body the peace it needs to restore itself overnight. Let me ask you, have you ever woken up tired even after a full night's sleep? If so, maybe try moving that little clock tonight. You might be surprised by what changes. It's a small shift, but for many seniors, it's a powerful one. Because your rest isn't just sleep. It's how your body repairs, how your mind stays clear, how your heart stays steady. So let's give it the space it needs. You've earned that peace. Now let's look at the next item in your bedroom that could be doing the same thing, quietly and visibly every single night. The second thing we need to talk about is your Wi-Fi router. Now I know it sounds strange. A little box sitting quietly in the corner. How could that possibly hurt anything, right? It doesn't beep, doesn't buzz, and you probably haven't touched it in months. But if that router is inside your bedroom, especially if it's just a few feet from your bed, it could be silently interrupting one of the most important processes in your body, deep healing sleep. Let me tell you about Stanley. He's 71, a retired engineer from Michigan. Sharp as a tack, always loved tinkering with tech. His Wi-Fi router sat on a dresser in his bedroom about 8 feet from where he slept. He thought nothing of it. convenient fast internet. What could go wrong? But over time, Stanley started feeling off. He'd forget things, where he put his keys, what he was about to say. His wife noticed he was repeating himself more often and even mixing up doctor appointments. Then came the flutters in his chest. Little stumbles in his heartbeat, nothing too painful but enough to worry them both. He went in for tests. The results came back clean, but then his cardiologist asked a simple question: "Where's your router at night?" That question stuck. Stanley decided to try something small. He unplugged the router at bedtime and moved it to his home office on the other side of the house. He even got one of those outlet timers from the hardware store, so the Wi-Fi turned off by itself at 11 p.m. and came back on at 7 a.m. Within 3 weeks, Stanley was sleeping better. His chest felt calm again. He remembered names. He laughed more at breakfast. His next memory test improved by 30%. Now, why would a router do all that? Well, according to the National Institutes of Health and Harvard Medical School, Wi-Fi devices release a kind of energy called low-level electromagnetic fields, EMFs. And while they're much weaker than X-rays or cell towers, they can still affect older bodies, especially at night. They may lower melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall into deep restorative sleep. Without enough melatonin, your brain doesn't clean up the day's waste. Your memory doesn't reset. And the heart, which needs calm and rhythm to recover, ends up working overtime. So what can you do? You don't have to give up your Wi-Fi. Just move the router out of the bedroom. If that's tricky, try plugging it into a timer so it shuts off while you sleep. If you're really curious, you can even use a long Ethernet cord and switch to a wired connection in your main work area. It may not seem like a big deal, but for your heart, your brain, and your sleep, it can be. So let me ask you, have you ever woken up tired even though you went to bed early? Have you ever felt your thoughts were slower, like your mind was walking through mud? Maybe tonight, just as an experiment, try moving that router, see what happens. Because your body is still trying every night to heal you. All we need to do is give it the quiet it's been asking for. Now, there's another small thing in your room that might be doing the same kind of damage. Let's talk about that next. The third thing we should talk about is something that might surprise you. It's that little plug-in air freshener sitting quietly by your bed. I know it smells nice, right? Makes the room feel clean, calm, almost like a little hug before sleep. But sometimes things that seem harmless aren't. Virginia, a 77-year-old widow from Florida, used to love hers. She kept a lavender-scented one near her nightstand. It was part of her evening routine, light reading warm tea and that soft floral smell in the air. But over time, she started waking up with a dry, scratchy throat. She thought maybe it was allergies, or just age, maybe even the weather. She tried everything: cough syrup, humidifiers, herbal teas, but nothing really helped. The cough stayed. Her breathing felt tight in the morning. And worst of all, she began waking up more and more throughout the night, never really feeling rested. Then one week she stayed at her daughter's house. No air fresheners. By the third night, the cough was gone. Her chest felt open. Her breath came easier. And her daughter said, "Mom, maybe it's time to unplug those things." Now Virginia was skeptical at first. She liked the way her house smelled, but she gave it a try. They replaced the plug-ins with small bowls of baking soda to absorb odor and placed a cotton ball with a drop of essential oil far across the room. Within a few days, her breathing improved again. She was sleeping deeper. The cough didn't come back. Even her pulmonologist said her lungs sounded clearer than before. You see, most plug-in air fresheners don't just release scent. They also emit something called VOCs, volatile organic compounds, tiny airborne chemicals that can irritate the lungs, especially when breathed in all night long. And because they're plugged into the wall, they also release a low level of electromagnetic radiation. Now, this may not bother younger lungs, but as we age, our airways become more delicate. Our bodies take longer to recover. Even small exposures, if repeated every night, can build up into bigger problems. Chronic cough, inflammation, fatigue. The good news: You don't have to give up freshness. Baking soda in a little bowl quietly absorbs odors without adding anything harmful to the air. If you enjoy calming scents, try placing a few dried herbs like lavender or cedar in a sachet and tuck it in your drawer. Or add a drop of essential oil on a tissue, but keep it far from your head while you sleep. And always, always keep your air clear at night. That's when your lungs are supposed to rest too. Let me ask you this. Have you noticed yourself waking up more often with a dry throat or shallow breath? If so, maybe tonight's a good time to try unplugging that freshener. Just for a few days. You might be surprised by how much better you feel. Sometimes the softest changes make the biggest difference. Because breathing easy at night, that's not a luxury. That's a gift. And your body, your beautiful, hard-working body, deserves that gift every single night. Now let's take a look at something else that keeps you warm, but might be quietly overworking your heart. You might already be using it without realizing the hidden cost. The fourth thing I want to talk to you about is warmth. Not just any kind of warmth, but the kind that comes from electric blankets and plug-in heating pads. They feel like a little piece of heaven on a cold night, don't they? Especially when your joints ache or your feet just won't warm up. But here's something most folks don't know, that cozy comfort might be quietly working against your health. Dorothy, a retired nurse from Minnesota, knew those long winters all too well. She used her electric blanket every night, low setting nice and gentle, and swore it was the only thing that helped her fall asleep. But over time, her mornings started feeling off. Her knees were stiffer, her heart fluttered now and then when she laid still, and her sleep, it wasn't restful anymore. At first, she blamed it on aging, or the weather, or maybe just stress, but something didn't sit right with her, so she started looking into it. She came across a few health articles, and one from Mayo Clinic News Network caught her attention. It mentioned that electric blankets give off electromagnetic fields, EMFs, and when those blankets are in direct contact with your body for hours, night after night, they can quietly interfere with how your heart and nervous system work. Dorothy thought, could this really be it? She gave it a try, packed the blanket away. Instead, she layered her bed with flannel sheets, a down comforter, and even used a warm water bottle at her feet on colder nights. Within 2 weeks, she felt lighter. Her knees didn't ache quite as much. Her heartbeat felt steadier, and for the first time in a while, she woke up feeling refreshed, not exhausted. It's not just Dorothy. Studies from the Environmental Health Perspectives Journal have shown that EMF exposure during sleep can increase inflammation markers in older adults by up to 35%. This kind of inflammation doesn't shout. It whispers through joint pain, poor circulation, or fatigue that seems to come from nowhere. And for seniors whose bodies are already working harder to restore and protect overnight, even low-level exposure can become too much. But the solution? It's simple. You don't have to give up warmth, just rethink where it comes from. Use natural insulation, flannel wool fleece. Pre-warm your bed with a microwave-safe rice pad or a good old-fashioned hot water bottle. And if you really need that electric blanket, that's okay. Just use it for 10-15 minutes before bed to warm things up, and then unplug it before you lie down for the night. Let me ask you, have you ever woken up feeling more tired than when you went to sleep, even though the bed felt warm and cozy? If that sounds familiar, try this small change. Just for a few nights. You might be surprised how much better your body responds to natural warmth, the kind that comforts without disturbing your sleep rhythms. Because sometimes caring for your health doesn't mean doing more. It means gently removing what no longer serves you. And now there's just one last detail in your bedroom we haven't talked about yet, and it might be the most common one of all. Let's look at that next. The fifth habit might seem harmless, but it could be quietly disturbing your rest every single night. It's keeping your phone right next to your bed while it charges. Now I know it's convenient. You use it as your alarm. Maybe you like to scroll before sleep or check the time if you wake up at 3 a.m. It feels like no big deal, But more and more researchers are noticing how that small habit can throw off your brain's natural sleep rhythm, especially for older adults whose systems are already working harder to stay balanced. Let me tell you about my neighbor Ron. He's 69, widowed, and lives just down the street. One day he told me, "I don't get it. I sleep for 7 hours, but I wake up feeling wired and worn out like I never shut down." He said his mind raced at night. He had more anxious thoughts, little memory slips, and mornings that started foggy, no matter how early he went to bed. When we talked more, I asked him where he kept his phone at night. He smiled and said, "Right under my pillow. That way I don't miss any calls from the kids." That's when it clicked. Studies from Harvard Health and Sleep Foundation show that the blue light from phones, and even the signals they send and receive, can suppress melatonin production. Melatonin is your body's natural sleep signal. It tells your brain time to power down. When melatonin is blocked or reduced, you may still fall asleep, but you don't get the deep, restorative kind your body needs. And that lack of deep rest can lead to fuzzy thinking, emotional stress, even a rise in blood pressure or heart rate during the night. So I suggested a small experiment. Ron moved his phone across the room. He started using an old alarm clock, again, just a simple one, with no screen glow. And before sleep, he put his phone on airplane mode to stop it from sending out signals that could interfere with rest. The results. By the end of the first week, he felt calmer at night. His thoughts slowed. He woke up with a clearer mind and fewer of those jittery moments during the day. He told me, "I didn't know something so small could change so much." And that's the thing. You don't have to throw your phone out the window. Just give your body a little space to rest without all that buzzing energy around it. Put the phone on a dresser or far corner of the room. Turn it on airplane mode after you say goodnight. Let your brain settle without all the signals swirling around your head. So let me ask you, do you ever wake up feeling tired even though you didn't toss and turn? Or have you felt more anxious before bed than you used to? If so, try this gentle change tonight. No cost, no pills, just a little extra quiet for your mind to rest. Because real rest isn't just about sleep. It's about giving your body the peace it needs to restore fully, deeply, and without interference. Now let's take a step back and reflect on everything we've uncovered in this bedroom. You might be surprised at how a few quiet changes can unlock years of better mornings ahead. Now here's something many people over 65 don't realize. Your body, even when you're lying still, is doing some of its most important work at night, but only if it gets the chance. You see, sleep isn't just about closing your eyes. It's about how deeply your body can rest, how fully your brain can reset. And the truth is, as we age, that process becomes more fragile. According to Harvard Medical School, people over 65 produce about 30 to 50% less melatonin than younger adults. Melatonin is what signals your body it's time to sleep. But it also does more than that. It helps calm inflammation, supports your immune system, and protects your brain. So when melatonin is low, you don't just sleep lighter. You may feel more forgetful, more tense, more tired during the day without even knowing why. Now here's the part most folks haven't heard. If you sleep near devices that give off even low levels of electromagnetic fields, things like plugged-in clocks, routers, electric blankets, or phones, they can interfere with that delicate sleep rhythm. Environmental Health Perspectives, a well-respected medical journal, found that low but constant EMF exposure during sleep may quietly raise markers of internal inflammation and even weaken immune response over time. That means your body wakes up still on guard, still stressed, when it was supposed to be healing. And NIH researchers discovered something even more concerning. Broken sleep patterns may reduce blood flow to the brain by up to 20%. That's not just about memory. That affects how your brain repairs itself after everyday wear and tear. When blood doesn't reach the brain properly, it's like giving your garden less water, things slowly dry out. But the beauty here is you don't need pills to fix this. What you need is a quieter, calmer bedroom. Devices turned off or moved a little farther away. Your room dim, cool, and free of constant signals that your body has to fight off. It's a gentle shift, but it gives your body the best chance to do what it already knows how to do, restore you. So tonight, just take a moment before bed. Look around your room with fresh eyes. Is there something you can unplug? Move across the room. You don't need to change everything. Just a little bit of quiet can go a long way, because even now your body hasn't stopped trying to protect you. Let's give it the rest it needs to keep doing that with strength, with grace, and with peace. The last thing I want to share with you tonight is something gentle. No machines, no pills, no appointments, just quiet care. Because even if we remove the harmful things from our bedroom, the router, the clock, the blanket, the phone, our body still needs help healing from the inside. And one of the easiest ways to do that is by helping your blood flow. Now that might sound like something for your doctor to worry about, but trust me, better circulation at night can do wonders for how deeply you sleep, how warm your hands and feet feel, and even how clear your mind is when you wake up. I remember Aunt Mary used to soak her feet in a small basin of warm water every night. 15 minutes, that's all. She called it her quiet time, said it helped her feel grounded like the day was washing away through her soles. Turns out she was right. Studies show that warm foot soaks relaxed blood vessels and signal to your brain, hey, it's time to rest now. Circulation improves. Muscles soften. Sleep comes more naturally. And if your legs or hands still feel cold, you can try a warm compress just below your belly, right over your lower abdomen. That gentle heat opens up your vessels, releases tension, and helps your body let go of the day. Now here's something not many folks talk about. What you eat before bed can also help your body sleep better. A few roasted slices of beetroot or a small handful of dried tart cherries. Both are rich in natural compounds that support melatonin, the sleep hormone we talked about earlier. And they also support nitric oxide, which helps your blood vessels relax and expand. That means better oxygen flow, better healing while you rest. And before you lie down, I want you to try one more thing. Just 3 minutes of slow breathing. In through the nose, hold gently, out through the mouth. This simple habit increases oxygen, soothes your heart rate, and tells your nervous system it's safe now. You can let go. Doesn't cost a dime, and yet it could change the way you sleep starting tonight. So give your body that softness, that kindness, not just by removing stress, but by inviting peace back in. Because when your bedroom becomes a place of true rest, your whole life starts to feel lighter again, and you deserve every bit of that peace. So today we looked at a few quiet changes you can make in your bedroom, small things that might help your body sleep deeper, think clearer, and heal more fully through the night. Sometimes it's not about doing more, but simply removing what no longer brings peace. Now I'd love to hear from you. What part of this video spoke to you the most? Was there a moment that made you pause or reflect? If you're not sure what to say, just leave the word hope in the comments, because that's where every change begins. And if you found this video helpful, please hit subscribe, tap the bell icon so you don't miss the next gentle health tip, and consider sharing this with a friend or loved one who could use a better night's rest. As always, thank you for spending your time here with me. Tonight, may your room feel calm. May your breath feel easy. And may your sleep bring you the quiet strength your body has been waiting for. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.